Welcome to Business Talk, presented in collaboration with the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, from the heart of southeastern Ohio at the University of Rio Grande TV studio. Our goals are simple: promote the University of Rio Grande and the Ohio State University South Centers, as well as advocate local small business and their support organizations. More importantly, promote Southeastern Ohio as a wonderful place to live, explore, and learn. There are many different ways you can find us. The University of Rio Grande Cable Access Channel 17, live online at blogtalkradio.com, and on YouTube if you are unable to catch our show live. Introducing our co-hosts, Jason Winters, Mike Thompson, Patrick Dengel. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome back to our show. We have an interesting show today. We have three great people that are going to be talking about technology. We have Mike, who is behind the scenes right at the present time, and hopefully we can get him on the show because he has some interesting things to say. We, of course, have Jason. Jason is the chair and faculty person here at the University of Rio Grande. And the other person, well, what
It's
can
you,
I say?
Pat. It's always been you, Pat.
But we're going to talk about something that even is greater, and that is this is going to be a hard word to say, proliferation.
Proliferation.
Yes, of technology.
You know, technology has been a wonderful thing for us, Pat. You know, I think about all the different things that I juggle in life. You know, I run the pet crematory, but I also have the farm operations, and I have everything going on here at the university. And I think, you know, if it was 30 years ago and I did not have the technology at my disposal, if I'd be able to juggle all those activities at the same time. You know, I live and die by a schedule that's actually on my phone, that's with me all the time. You know, my telephone is in my pocket, and I answer calls 24/7. My email is connected to me. And even when it comes down to paying bills, we talked about this early. You know, I do the majority of my banking online. You know, I don't actually take time to sit down and write out checks and put things in the mail. So technology has been a wonderful tool to create a greater efficient environment and an effective environment for my businesses, and I'm sure it has for other people as well.
And for myself, but I think always we have to be very careful of the downsides too. My wife and I, we remember the Princess telephone that was connected to the wall, and we remember having a TV station with only 3 or 4 channels.
And you had to make the kids get up and turn the channel for you, right?
Well, those were our remote.
I was that remote once upon a time.
So you were one of those. I understand. But as the technology continues to grow and all the different things that were, in essence, simple to us, we as an older individuals are really amazed at the things that we can do. And it comes up with some security issues that I think all of us have talked about and have identified. And that's one of the things that we're going to be talking about is what to do if something happens that we wish did not happen.
Right, and things do happen. You know, Pat, we were talking about this as well, the different generations. You don't use a credit card a lot.
No.
You know, and you pay your bills by check.
Yes.
My father is very much the same way. Very private about his
Yes.
personal affairs.
Yes.
And he is very secure in what he allows to get outside.
That is right.
I, on the other hand, I have loosened up a little bit. And I do use online bill pay. I do pay with credit cards, although I'm still skeptical in a lot of cases. And there's sometimes that, you know, I won't purchase something online because I don't actually know where that credit card number is going. But the new generation is coming forward, the millennials that's grown up with technology, they're not fearful of it at all. And they'll be happy to trade their personal information for a coupon at any point, at any time. So it really creates an environment in our community. You know, how do legislators guarantee our privacy? You know, how do they create laws that protects our privacy when we got 3 generations all in one community that all have different expectations
Well, as Mike, you and I were talking about that and the different concerns, one of the areas that we looked at was why not bring in some really qualified speakers, qualified educators, qualified individuals that are out in the world that deal with this every day, and we sit down and provide a business security forum.
I think that's a fantastic idea. Tell you what, let me share a couple examples.
Sure.
Because, we talked about the personal. What happens if my credit card information gets compromised?
Yeah.
That's not only a problem for me, but that's also a problem in the business world.
Yes.
And I was reading an article the other day, and I was looking through some of the FTC, the Federal Trade Commissions, and some of the rulings that they had against some of the companies. And I wanted to share a few with our listeners.
Okay.
Back in 2012, Wyndham, that's the hotel chain.
It was what?
The hotel chain, Wyndham Resorts.
Oh, okay.
In June of 2012, the FTC filed suit against the global hospitality company Wyndham, alleging security failures that led to multiple data breaches at its hotels, and accused the company of misrepresenting and protective measures that it takes against its privacy policies. In its complaint, the FTC accused the company of security failures that allowed for the theft and subsequent fraud of payment card information. The commission alleged that these insufficient security practices led to multiple breaches of fraudulent charges on consumers' accounts, more than $10 million in fraudulent losses, and the transmission of payment card information to domains registered in Russia, ultimately compromising more than 500,000 payment cards accounts.
Wow.
So we're looking at, a situation now that we wouldn't have thought of years ago.
Well, that is very, very true. 15 years ago, if someone was scammed, or if their credit card was abused, or if somebody took advantage of someone, generally most individuals, like for instance, some of the financial institutions, the government entities, the different people, the police force, security, they would feel bad. But basically they would say, well, when you get it fixed, come back and see us. And it took individuals anywhere from 50 hours to 1,000 hours to undo the damage.
Right.
And the businesses that also were being scammed, it took hours and hours and hours.
And your businesses now, the majority of their payment receipts are made by credit cards.
Sure.
So when they're accepting someone's credit card, they don't have any intention, or normally don't have intention of defrauding their customers.
Sure.
But they're taking sensitive information into their possession, and then what happens to that sensitive information?
Yeah, that's true.
How is it being secured? And that puts a liability on businesses to make sure that when they're taking in information like that, credit cards, social security numbers, things that they need to transact business, that information is secured from outside potential hackers that want to do not only the business harm, but the customer as well. And how do we safeguard against that? That's going to be a tough question.
Well, we have one state agency, and there's many, the FBI is involved and things of that nature, but we have the State of Ohio Attorney General's office that has taken a very proactive stance in helping individuals if they've been scammed, if they've been cheated out of money and things of that nature.
And OSU South Centers and the University of Rio Grande have kind of put together something to help out the community understand these issues.
Yes, and we have 4 excellent speakers, 4 excellent individuals that will be coming down. We also have a introduction by Dr. Michelle Johnston. She's the University of Rio Grande president. We have an introduction from Mike DeWine, who is the state attorney general's. He's the attorney general. He's going to be welcoming individuals. It will be pre-recorded, but he is coming down to the University of Rio Grande earlier in the week to talk with Dr. Johnston about some of the programs that are very actively involved. And then we have the 4 speakers. The first speaker is someone you may know. He is Gabe Stewart. Gabe Stewart is with the Ohio Valley Bank, and as a matter of fact, Ohio Valley Bank is one of the sponsors of our program. And Gabe has had a lot of experience in the banking IT world. Gabe, 14 years specifically in IT security. So that way, when you give me your credit card so I can make some interesting purchases, he's there to help you and make sure
find
I
you.
Yes. Actually, he turns all things over, but you know, in the banking community, just like what you were saying, it's amazing how much we have given away our personal information through cell phones
Right.
and you know, to transact business. And Gabe is one of those individuals that does his very best to keep individuals safe and secure.
Well, even here on campus, we have the same situation. I mean, you think of a traditional student that comes in, you know, they somewhere on file.
Yeah.
There is their social security number.
Yep.
There's all their contact information.
Yep.
There's their addresses.
Yep.
There's grade information.
Yep.
You know, so all of that information is being stored in a database, and that database has to be a secure database so people can't hack into it
That's
and
right.
steal private information.
That's right. Yeah. So Gabe, he's no stranger to talking before groups, whether you're a senior citizen, a business owner, students. There's some key issues that he wants to address, and he wants individuals to make sure they are aware of, so that they keep their situation a little bit more.
Those who want privacy deserve privacy.
That is correct. That is correct. Another guest is a favorite of your and mine and Mike's, and that's Ryan Lippy. Ryan Lippy is with the State Attorney General's office. He's an educator, consumer educator. And there's a couple of things that he's going to be talking about specifically to we older, more mature, wiser individuals.
Why do you look at me like that when you say that? Am I part of your group there?
Well, I think so.
Okay.
You know,
I
but-
need to dye my hair.
You know, but well, look at Mike. You know, when I met Mike, Mike had real black, dark hair, and it covered his entire face.
So are you stressing him out? Is that what you're saying?
Well, Mike is getting to our club,
Okay.
but seniors are very vulnerable to fraud and scams.
They are, and especially in technology, because they don't fully understand what technology is all about.
Or, well, that's very true, because if you don't understand it, you don't know how to protect yourself.
That's right. They can get a very innocent email that looks like it's an email from a business that they transact business
Right.
with, and it turns out that it's, you know, got a bogus address to it, and it has absolutely nothing to do with their bank or their insurance company, and they're defrauded.
I understand. The State of Ohio Attorney General's office has a variety, as you know, we welcomed him on our show not too long ago, actually last year, and he demonstrated how much the Attorney General's office is involved with in helping to prevent fraud. Most importantly is helping an individual once they do get scammed and once they do get defrauded. So he's going to be a guest that we will be talking about. We also have, who else do we have?
We have Thomas Saunders from Gal Police, attorney from downtown, that he's going to be coming in and
very
talking as
good.
well. Thomas Saunders grew up in Gallia County. He attended, I'm sorry?
Tommy.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
called him
you
Thomas
know him
once.
personally?
No, I called him Thomas once.
Okay.
And he very kindly said, I like to go by Tommy.
Okay, well then we'll call him Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy grew up in Gallia County. He went to Gallia Academy High School. He attended the Ohio Wesleyan University, where he graduated with a BA in history. While at Ohio Wesleyan, he was a 4-year varsity football player, and he was elected team captain by his teammates during his senior year. He also was a member of the Phi Kappa Psi fraternity and a member of the Phi Alpha Theta National History Honor Society. And I hope I got the Greek terms correct, because I'm not always good at pronouncing those Greek terms. Mike, thank you, Mike. Mike definitely corrects me. Thomas attended Capital Law University and graduated cum laude with his Juris Doctorate in 2013. And while at Capital Law School, Thomas was a class representative in the Student Bar Association, and during one summer of law, he attended classes at the University of Oxford in the UK through a program with the Ohio State University's Mortice College of Law.
Wow.
So he's going to be joining our show as well.
And I think he has, he's going to be talking about how to protect our assets. He has been very actively involved in a number of different elements within our specific area, dealing with legal issues, et cetera. And he's going to be talking about difference between wills and living wills, and how to protect those assets and trustees, and what happens if you get scammed legally. What can individuals do? So he's going to come with a lot of really good information, and I'm looking forward to having him come on here.
And then, isn't our police chief coming on as well?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so Scott's coming on. Why don't you tell a little bit about Scott?
Well, Scott, I don't think individuals really know the background, the extensive background that Scott has been involved. As a matter of fact, Mike and Scott on occasion have a show in which they talk about personal safety and things of that nature.
I thought you were going to say they crossed paths when Scott was a highway patrolman. Is that true, Mike?
Well, Scott started the law enforcement in 1978. See, Jason, that was, for most of our listening audience, that was before the turn of the century.
Well, it really was, Pat. Matter of fact, it was grade school time, Pat, but we won't go there.
Grade school?
Grade school.
You
were well out of grade school,
I
Pat.
was being chased by highway patrol. But anyway, he was a cadet for the Ohio State Highway Patrol at the Xenia Post. And then he graduated from the Academy class in 1981. Became a Portsmouth, Ohio patrol post trooper. And I don't know if you've ever had a chance to talk with Scott, but he has some interesting stories. He's a very down-to-earth individual. He doesn't have any airs. He takes security very, very
he's
important.
very serious.
Yeah, very serious.
But then again, he does it because he actually cares.
Yes,
And
he does.
I think that's one thing that the faculty and the administration here on campus see in Scott.
Yeah.
He's not just here for a job.
That's right.
He cares about protecting this campus and those that are on it, and it shows in his work.
Yeah, and he had been a trooper, been a sergeant, been a lieutenant, different postings, and then it's my understanding in 2002 he joined University of Rio Grande Community College as a chief of police. And here's a couple interesting things. He has been a recipient of many different awards, such as the ACE Award. And we all know that if you recover 5 stolen cars, or if you have that identity, ability to recapture the stolen cars, every 5 you get an ACE. And he had that ACE Award. And been health and fitness award. And he's had a 25-year safe driving award. Mike and Jason, I know that both of you have received something similar, some kind of safe driving award, correct? Okay, well, I guess we shouldn't go there. He's been Portsmouth Post Trooper of the Year twice, and some of the things that he's going to be discussing. He's going to be talking about what to do if you ever find yourself in a situation where there's a gunman, or if you're in a crowd where you need to protect yourself, what are some things? Should you run away? Should you fight? Should you try to disappear? What are some of those
Actually,
areas?
I think the right answer is all three, depending on the situation.
It might be. It could very well be. I know that Scott has been very actively involved in bringing individuals down to the University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College, in which they've had training events, and I think that's very important. The university here is small as compared to Ohio State University, but I think the last few calamities that have occurred, the shooting calamities, have been at
Small schools.
Small schools, and to save one's life, and to save many others' lives, etc. There are some things that we as human beings need to be aware of, and so he's going to be sharing those items.
So when is this
It's going to be Wednesday.
program taking place?
Wednesday, March the 16th, and we're going to have we're going to start at 9. We have the 4 guest speakers after the introductions from Mike DeWine and the university president, Dr. Johnson. We're going to go through the 4 half-hour programs, and then at the end of the programs, etc., we're going to have Dr. Sachs or some other individuals thank everyone, and we're going to have box lunches. And we as individuals get a chance to ask personal questions if they hadn't had an opportunity to ask questions, and dine with their box lunches with our speakers.
Now, you mentioned that's on campus here, but
Yes.
specifically, where is it on campus?
Bob Evans Farm Hall.
Okay.
Bob Evans Farm Hall is at the back or front entrance. If you go into the entrance right across the street from Bob Evans Restaurant, you go over 2 speed bumps, and then you slowly go over the 3rd speed bump. It's that first building that you're looking right at. You park in the parking lot and come on up.
Just catty corner from the soccer field.
That's correct. And when we get there, we'll do the registration and things of that nature. Now, a couple things. We have a variety of different individuals that we've invited to, and we've asked, because of the lunch boxes and all the expenses of taking care of that, that we're asking $25 fee. If there's any monies left over, it goes to the University of Rio Grande and some of their programs and things of that nature. We anticipate that we'll be right at our expense level and our income level, because Ohio Valley Bank and another donor has provided some seed money so we could put this on. And I just want to mention the Ohio Valley Bank is a very much of a appreciative sponsor of this program, in the fact that they're letting one of their trusted IT people come and talk. And they feel it very important to be a part of making sure everyone enjoys the morning. How we are going to register, and if Mike would be kind enough to put up the information. Jennifer Dunn works at the Ohio State University South Centers. We have an active database. We ask that people pre-register before the 10th, and the reason being is we want to make sure that there is an accounting of individuals so that everyone gets fed. Otherwise, we'll come to you, Jason, and say, hey, you aren't hungry, are you?
It's all right. Any leftover boxed lunches can be stored in my office. It's upstairs above the venue.
Well, Mike said that too.
Yeah, but Mike's all the way up on top of the hill. You'd have to truck those boxed lunches all the way up on top of the hill.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm just saving you some time and space.
I really appreciate that. One of the nice things also is the fact that we're jointly with the University of Rio Grande and Rio Grande Community College and Ohio State University South Centers. We have the capacity to take, and I know we're talking about security, but we have the capacity to take Visa and MasterCard. And when an individual pre-registers, etc., we are if they've looked at this show or they are chamber members or if they want to give me a call, etc., we'll give you $5 off. So it's only $20. So we're asking individuals to spend some time with us at the University of Rio Grande at the Bob Evans Farm Hall in the auditorium, and really take a look at some of the issues that we're going to be bringing in and some of the solutions. So it's open to the public. We know you're going to be there, and Mike's going to be there, and we know that Randy's going to be there, and all the individuals. Here's an opportunity to learn more than anything else how to keep ourselves safe. Brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it? So I again encourage individuals in the listening audience, consider Wednesday, March the 16th. We start at 9 o'clock. I get to be the timekeeper, and
You're not going to be the official MC?
No. As a matter of fact, we're going to have a number of individuals there that will be welcoming. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to be on time with everything, because we have to. The lunch boxes are served at 12, and you know as well as I do, you never stay away from people not eating.
You might get bit.
That's right. That's right. Mike has been very kind behind the scenes. Randy, we appreciate the sound. I'm Patrick, and I encourage everyone March the 16th to be involved. And you are?
Oh, I'm Jason.
And Mike, he's waving his fingers at us saying he's Mike. So again, on Business Talk, thank you for listening.